Monkey fam, hope everyone's doing great. Checking in on the project. We're at 306,000 market cap. Nice pullback today from the gains over the last couple days. We were up at 400,000 yesterday at the high, a little bit over that, and now we are at 306,000. And I think the main thing I looked, and the main thing was someone sold a decent chunk in one shot, which happens from time to time. So I'm not worried about it. I think the accumulation zone continues, and one of these peaks here, we're going to break out eventually and run hard, in my opinion. So the chart looks good to me overall. I think the core holders are still holding. Uh, Part of the reason for the pullback, I believe, is the broader market pulled back a little bit because the structural legislation was delayed, and that's what caused the broader market to pull back. But I'm still incredibly bullish on Monkey and crypto as a whole, and looking forward to seeing what happens next. And in my opinion, you should never sell close to the bottom on cult coins like Monkey. And the reason is they're not going to die. They're not going to go a ton lower, and they could run at any moment. So to me, it's not a great move to sell the bottom like this. I think folks are impatient at times, and trying to time the buys and sells on a low market cap coin like Monkey is tough to do, and quite frankly, it's dangerous just because it doesn't take much for it to run. Just one post from an influencer or some prominent wallet buying in, especially with all the stuff going with Elon. There's a lot of pump fund news out there, and something crazy could happen with the pump folio. So in my opinion, hold, don't panic sell, don't be impatient chasing runners, but buy and hold Monkey. And I think we end up in a good spot here. The DCA is great. You're not trying to time the bottom or the top. You're just accumulating and having that mindset as we go by. And with the accumulation mindset, time is actually your friend. And the longer we stay in the accumulation zone, the harder we end up pumping. So I'm feeling fine about the chart. Chart looks good. The the only thing is that we're hoping for a breakout at some point. I think it's going to break out. And I think if you're like me, you always wonder, is this the breakout? Is it going to break out? And looks like this time it pulled back. And so we're still in the accumulation zone. But I think having more time here is actually a blessing. So let's look at the news here on X. Luke Belmar posted lock in and change your life now. Your future self will thank you. Keep your eyes focused on the prize. And that's what we have to do with Monkey. We know the goals, we know the community, we know how great the meme is, and how solid the top holders are. So we just need to stay focused on the prize and not worry about the short term chart. The only reason I look at the short term chart is because at some point we're going to break out, and looking at the chart helps us see when that might be happening. I'm not stressed out at all when it goes down a bit. Again, it's more time to accumulate. Watcher Guru posted, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says it's clear American voters want crypto. So even if the structural legislation is delayed, I think it's inevitable. It's going to push forward. Something's going to happen, and crypto is just going to be stronger than it's ever been. And I think that's going to happen soon. So I'm not worried about any delay or any short-term action on Monkey or any other coins. I think it's clear. I think crypto's here to stay, and we're going to go so much higher here. Virtual Bacon, I thought this was interesting, says if everyone agrees on a narrative, it's usually late. And so I agree there. You want to be early before the consensus. And so I think we're there with Monkey. I think we all know as Monkey holders what we're holding. It's a gem. It's a pure animal play. It's got great content, just natural content. Everyone loves Monkey. And we're at such a low market cap. Obviously, not everyone agrees with us. Soon they will, I believe. I think folks will, in hindsight, look back and say, wow, Monkey was obvious. And they'll all agree. And at that point, it'll be too late to get in at a good price. But if we're buying and holding and stacking, we're here early. We're in on the narrative before everyone agrees. And we're not going to be late like others. Good post here. Kuno has the post here. We see this a lot, obviously. The coin is pumping, bro. Are you still in? And I fear that some monkey holders are going to be like this, where they miss the pump that they knew was coming. And to me, that'll be the biggest regret is if you're sidelined or monkey lined and you knew it was a good coin, a good narrative, and good community. So don't be monkey line. Skinky says here, similar to what I said earlier, the longer the accumulation, the bigger the expansion. And I think getting the coins into the hands of the community and the diehard believers fuels that bigger expansion. And we've been accumulating for a long time, and it looks like it's continuing still. So that is more time to add to your bags. Sniper says you become a very skilled meme trader by mastering pattern recognition. And if you zoom way out on this chart, you can see, oops, you can see we're in a large accumulation zone with this big spike here. And this is the chart you want to bid. If you notice patterns, these are the charts that eventually send. Bitcoin Junkie says Bitcoin whales are accumulating at unprecedented levels. Something big is coming. And so folks that are accumulating aren't worried about the short-term price. That's why I'm with Monkey. I'm accumulating as if I know something big's happening because I really do think something's going to happen here. Dip Wheeler says patience will make you rich. That's such a simple post, but it's true. Patience will make you rich with a coin like Monkey. If you know what you're holding and you're actually working your bag and pushing it forward, having that patience, holding, not selling, holding through the dips, accumulating when others are fearful, that's going to make you rich. Crypto Fergani says you'll never make it in crypto without a fire inside of you. I'm not talking about short-term motivation, but you need a burning desire, something that pisses you off whenever you remember your goals and the fact that you're not achieving them. But you must truly believe it first, or you'll never act. Faith comes before action. No faith equals no action. No action equals no success. So I think that's the key is we need to have that belief as a community of where we're going, and then we act on it. We start working our bags. And if we don't have that belief, you're not motivated to act. And then if you don't act, as he says here, no success. So good post here. I think we need to believe where we're going. And because of that, that pushes us to work harder. Crypto Waterman says, I see a lot of crypto holders making this mistake. A lot of people think that buying a microcap at 100 or 200,000 is their ticket to 100x, but 70-80% of them can't survive a month. So I want to point out Monkey's market cap is lower than what he's talking about here, but it's a coin that survived. So I think it's just cheaper than it should be. A safer bet, buying a coin at 1 to 5 million market cap that has proven itself already. These have a higher chance of doing 10, 20, even 50x with a way lower risk of rugging. That's how I feel about Monkey. We have a great chance to run, and I think even greater than 50x, obviously, but there's a lot less risk just because of the quality of the community. He says, saying so because I was in the trenches for 2 years straight, hunted thousands of different coins, and now is the best time to double down on your high conviction plays and do nothing. Time is running out before Bitcoin dominance starts to fall. Good post here. Now is the time to double down, in my opinion. If you're a believer, if you've got the funds, obviously do your research. I'm doubling down in Monkey. Crypto Twit says community is greater than price action. And so focusing too much on price action and not the community can lead to errors in judgment, in my opinion. The community is more important. The price action will follow. Cook says I'm pretty bored right now, so I catch myself trying to force a trade, just looking for a trade, any trade. The key is to recognize when you feel this way and control yourself. You should already be in your high conviction trades. Sitting, waiting, doing nothing. Be patient. It's hard. Perfectly said. Well said about Monkey. You're already in your high conviction trade. No need to force a trade and end up selling the bottom. Overdose says 2026 is likely one of the most important years of your life. Imagine not being fully locked in. I agree. This is a huge year for Monkey potentially. And the key is to hold on to your bag, DCA if you can, and chill. Shadow says, believers, we will be rewarded. Don't lose hope and don't give up. We set the standard. Never forget. Dreamers made the world what it is today. So he's saying, believe in something. Don't lose hope. Let's keep on working. Lil Toro says, the tool is money. The goal is freedom. Never confuse the two. So the money is not the goal. Freedom's the goal. But the money can get you there in some ways. Back to what we were talking about with the structural legislation being delayed. Robinhood and Coinbase stocks fall 7.8 and 6.5% after Congress delays crypto market structural legislation. I do think it's going to happen in some form, and so we're still early. Just hang in there. Andy Leon says listing on DEX or an exchange needs money. Building a community is free. You only need to spend time. So that's a good point. We've got unlimited resources technically. Well, not unlimited, I guess, but a lot more resources than we think we have because we have time. And we've had time to work Monkey and increase the mind share, which I think we've done. We just need to keep on doing that. Finally, Cryptoshi says the funny thing about meme coins is you can be down on them, and one single tweet from the right account can change things real fast. Hold on to your conviction bags and stop rotating to the next shiny thing. I've been holding maxing for almost a week, and the same with Aloka. Short-term price action means nothing to me. I'm holding for multi-millions. If there's one thing time in the market has taught me, it's patience. You make the most money from holding and not rotating. Few. So I agree with it here. He's got his bags, which I respect. We've got Monkey. We're holding. We're waiting. It's our conviction bag. We just need to be patient and see what happens. And like he said, it just takes a single tweet from the right account that can change things. And you don't want to be monkey lined at a time like this. It's a great time to accumulate and make sure your position is ready for our run. Thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow.